kicks us out.
Those questions that
Live on
Facebook.
We're live.
Yes, perfect. Hello, everyone. We're welcoming Vanessa. Welcome, Vanessa.
Lovelies.
It's so good to have you.
It's the love lady.
Is the love
It's the
lady.
love lady. Hello, Vanessa.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to everyone on Facebook. Gamzee, why don't you? I don't need to lead. You can lead. It's International Women's Day. I suppose you should just shut up today.
I can just give a quick intro before. I think people know the gist at this point. Every Monday we have an incredible human being, and I'm sitting here already with two other incredible human beings. So I'm a lucky one. Every Monday, half an hour. It's brilliant. It's the Monday motivation. I think we should rename this Infinite You Monday Motivation, right? So we did this event on the 8th of January. It was amazing, and one of the talks that impressed everybody the most and made everybody cry was Vanessa's talk on love. So we thought we will invite her back in one of the, 100 other times that we will probably ask for you to come back and ask her a lot of questions today to get more insight and more information out of this incredible person. But also, since we're live, comments and questions in the, yes, down. Right. So welcome again, Vanessa. Elle, would you like to start with our first ever question?
I would love to. That would be very kind of you. Shall I do that now? Yeah, I'm joking. Sorry. So Vanessa, you spoke about love on January the 8th. Why is love your topic?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Why is love my topic? Because I've come to understand that not only is it the power that turns the world, grows the grass and beats our hearts, it's the most misunderstood thing. What is it? It's the most misunderstood concept out there. And I wanted to redefine love as we have been taught that it is. It's not actually, if that makes sense. So it's not hearts, flowers, sex, romance. It's lovely, and that's all wonderful. And as I've said before, don't take that away. But I think we are we're taught and we are brought up on the concept that love is if you feel in love with you think about the first time you really felt in love with somebody, you go giddy, you just notice so much more, you feel so much better, anything is possible, you look upwards rather than down on the ground, you're very much more welcoming and receptive, and your energy levels go up. And we label that as, I feel this way because it's you that does that to me, or it's an experience, I feel like this, and in what I call the vibration of love because of that experience or this person. And actually all they've done is awakened a part of us that is innate in every single one of us. And that's why I'm so passionate about talking about love and redefining it. It's not an outside construct as we're led to believe. It's totally who we are at the core. And we all know what that feeling is like. But I'm here to redefine the fact that it's within us.
So you said it's not flowers, love, romance, sex, and all of that stuff. It's being in that feeling. When you fall in love with someone, when you truly, even if it's falling in lust, it doesn't matter. When you love that person, that you would almost do anything for them at that point. What you're saying is that sensation, that feeling of love for another human being is the vibration of love. Now, when you're in lust with someone, it drops off very quickly because it's all lust. And when it's true love, when you find that person you're meant to be with, it's effortless and lasts forever. Not effortless, but it I guess it's probably the easiest way to be in a frequency of love.
But we're still attaching being in love with being with somebody. I'm all about coming back home. So Ramdas, as we know, we're all walking each other home. We're all walking each other back to here, not to our deathbeds, effectively, but back home. Homeostasis, the balance, the equilibrium of who we are is love at the heart of us, right? So, but what you've just said is when this person perhaps is in our lives, or we fall for somebody, or we feel lust or love, or however you want to label it, it's the feeling of, oh my God, this is heaven. I mean, call it orgasmic ecstasy. It's that, you know, where you really feel open, your heart is open. It literally expands, not just in size, and your blood capillaries, you're flowing, you're flushed. How many times when you are in that place that people say, you look really well, right?
Yeah.
You're healthy, you are a well-being. But we've got to almost, because we've been taught it's about another person, to be in love with somebody, we've got to experience what it's like to be with that person, to know that that feeling is here, but also to educate ourselves that actually it's not about you. And only when I experience it for myself first and know it's here, can I then be truly in love with you and you with me.
Wow. So, oh my God, we could just carry on, me and you talking. I better shut up, because otherwise the other two are going to go. But basically what you mean is that the first person you have to love is you.
But
Wow.
we experience ourselves by being in love, like I'm in love with you, Al, in that vibration
Oh,
of love,
thank you.
right?
And I'm in love with you too, and with them. No, I'm not in love with Neil. No, Neil. No, I'm in love with Neil's cake.
In the vibration of love, right? When you
I love you, Neil.
experience that feeling with somebody else, it's got to go. Think about it. Think about it. It's got to start here to go out to come back.
Amazing.
Infinite.
Wow.
Right?
Amazing. Infinite. Yes. Right. Next question. Sorry, I'm going to shut up now. Blimey.
I'll go ahead, but it's so interesting. Like, one of my friends 10 years ago, when she was going through a divorce, she said this sentence to me. I told about it for months and months and months, and now we're talking about it. Actually, she said that she's getting a divorce, but that doesn't mean that she can't love the person, because this is the thing. I don't need him to love him, right? It's about me. It's not about him. Yeah. And it's just putting everything into perspective in that regard. That's brilliant, Vanessa. So on that note, you kind of mentioned this, but what is the one common problem, the biggest problem when it comes to the topic of love and, you know, making this an internal process rather than an external process, I guess?
Yeah, the biggest block, the biggest problem is closed minds, closed hearts, through fear, through being heartbroken, whether that is wanting an experience either with another person or a day out with your best mate, or experience, you know, thinking, oh my God, I'm going to my favorite restaurant, you get there and it's closed, where you just feel that kind of, we just start to close up. And, you know, heart attacks don't happen for, you know, you think about, you know, the place where we close ourselves off. So we protect ourselves, but also the lack of awareness that we are so much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. We don't think that we can change ourselves and our lives. And dare I say it, I'd like to think that I am the example, like many of us are, of how we have been able to turn that around and how we have come back from a place where it was all a bit bleak. So closed minds, closed hearts is the biggest problem. So I just want to love people to demonstrate it's possible, then the invitation is in their court.
I love that. Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, Neil, next one.
I'm just going to sit here and be in love with Vanessa.
Yeah, exactly. That's the feeling. I'm like, I don't want to ask any questions. Let's have Vanessa talk for half an hour and we just be like.
I'm just going to interrupt for 2 seconds. I've got an urgent 5-second crisis that I have to disappear for. So I'm going to put my camera down. Can you guys carry on for me? I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Of course we can.
I'm all good. I'm all good.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so there's me just sitting there looking at Vanessa. And the reason that I'm doing that is I think it's just been over a year since we've been friends.
Yeah.
And it's a serious connection. You, and I've said it to you before, you overflow love, and it's a pleasure to be around such a gorgeous human being, let alone light. You're an honest human being. You're real, and for me that's really important. But if we could go all the way back to, and I know your background, if we could go all the way back to when you first decided that this naked was all about you and where you wanted to go. If you could give yourself one bit of advice that would just change it or fix it up a little bit more or make it different, what would it be, V?
It's a really good question, because your mind will take you in all sorts of directions of what advice would I give myself. But actually, the first thing that comes to mind is I'd say to myself, and I can feel myself getting emotional now, I'd say to myself what I've always said to myself, and that is keep going. Just keep on tingling, keep going, because there has been something in me for as long as I can remember, and it's, call it a knowing. You know where you just know something and you just don't know why or how you know it. And would be, as I have often encouraged myself in deepest, darkest moments, is just don't give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And in the last 18 months, dare I say it, I have been proved that I am not deluded and that this shit works, right? Love is the answer. It does win. As he appeared from the snowstorm. Yeah,
Love
just it would be to keep going.
Do you know what? Love is the answer. And then all of a sudden he went,
Keep going. Yay.
We staged that. It was perfectly timed, actually. Everybody watching.
well done, Al.
Yeah.
Really, really good. So thanks, me. Really appreciate that. So you just turn around and say to yourself, just carry on, get on with it, girl. Come on, don't give up.
Yeah, keep going. And I think once we truly learn, once we've experienced that bliss space, as you guys know I call it, once we've experienced that place, and some people have it in a dream, literally while they're asleep. Some people experience it in real life, some people really only just visualize it in their own daydream. But when you truly experience that place for yourself, you're never the same again. And however far I would fall, or however deep I would go, where I would just go, do you know what, it's just time to check out, I'm done. There would always be that something that would just go, no, keep going, just keep going. You're right to pursue. Even though I felt like I was swimming upstream in treacle a lot of the time, where people go, you're deluded. No, because with the old version of love is what people think it is, and it's just not. So keep going. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Believe
in
in
you.
Who's next? Come on. Who's next? Come on.
Is it me? It might be me.
Let's rattle these questions up.
Is it number 4? I think it's number 4, isn't it? What has been the most invaluable resource for you, Vanessa?
Space.
Ooh.
And also space to just good old pen and paper, just journal. I wrote in a journal for 5 years when I was a kid, and one of those ones that you locked up, Gansy. Do you remember the girls used to have those ones, that little padlock on it, used to live under my pillow? You still got one?
Girls?
Yeah.
Well, one sec. I've got one as well.
And I used to write in it. It was my secret place. It was like I was writing to my imaginary friend that I now believe to be true. It was just the other part of me, or I would share my deepest secrets. I would share my pain, my wins, what I was excited about, even if it was just a couple of lines. And even now, I was just chatting with Al this morning, you know, I'm really experiencing some great contrast in my life at the moment, and I'm really being invited by that power to level up. And the contrast is painful, it's uncomfortable. And I just messaged him this morning after a little conversation we had, and I said, thank you so much for that. I feel better now I've journaled. Because when we keep it all here, it's always going to be BS, always. Whereas when we write from here and we get it out and we can allow it to come up. So journal is just, for me, just write it down.
Oh my God. It's like,
You know what? I oh, sorry, go on.
No, that's it.
I never used to journal, and I've journaled a bit, and I kind of come in and out of journaling. I'm not a natural writer, so I don't like writing. But what I've started doing, I've started journaling digitally. So I put stuff in the format that suits me, and it's so underrated. More boys should journal.
Everyone.
You know, boys don't journal because it's kind of
there
was
is
something we did when I was a kid.
There's something called the journal, Al, which is it's on a mental health tip. So it's for men, and it's actually a journal. So they teach you how to put the journal together. And
Wow.
men are finding it an unbelievable tool, because it is that talking thing. You might not be able to talk this way, but if you can talk from here onto a paper, then I think that's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
really glad that you brought that up, Neil, actually, because that's one of the things that I want to introduce into the Vanessa Loves group. Is just journal space, where I literally just go live and everybody has their pad and we just sit together in space. Nobody says anything, but if people want to just, but sometimes knowing that you are journaling with other people, because it's quite a can be quite a lonely process. So that's something I want to start up, and I think it's really great for guys to hear that from you. So thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, please do that. You know, so many students do like study with me or work with me kind of things. I think that will be such a motivating thing.
Yeah.
Amazing idea. So Vanessa, you're full of energy, you're super inspirational, and you just said that your one tip is to keep on keeping on, and
Yeah.
put it very nicely. What drives you? What motivates you to keep on keeping on?
Reminding myself of the connection I have with that deeper knowing, for sure, but also that I have a responsibility, however much I have tried to ignore it because it's too big a thing for me, that I have come up against challenges where I have allowed myself to be put down or dismissed. But when I do connect with someone, because it's really one heart at a time, and what I would love to do now is build a tribe of people where all hearts are connected. But when you can see, and I'm tingling again, when you can see that somebody you're in conversation with, not necessarily working with, but just, it could be Joe Blogs at the bus stop, it could be with a client, it could just be in conversation, that me holding the line, as I call it, which is like me remaining as centered as I possibly can. I am in my strongest, most powerful place. And holding the line means then that the invitation for you to join me is welcomed, but also it's very much about knowing that it's available in all of us. And I just need to keep going. I just need to keep showing up and holding the space. And if I can be a demonstration that this works, and you choose to observe that and you want to join in, great. Whereas if I don't show up, you know, not obviously not just me, because there's lots of us doing it, but my responsibility to show up. Yeah, but actually it was Neil that said to me a few months ago, how do you care for so many people? And I really sat and pondered that before I replied, and I said, I don't care for people. I care for me, and where I show up, because you fill yourself up, like my human prison principle, then wherever you point your focus, whoever you spend your time with, wherever you spend your energy, if you happen to be in that space, you feel cared for. I don't go, I'm going to love you today. I love. And you just are caught up in that. It's a bit like a spider's web.
No, it's these questions have been the same questions for every single speaker, and it's amazing how every one of those speakers have answered them. Number one, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, but Vanessa, I've sat here and like you're tingling, I'm tingling as well, because this is stuff that every human being, and I've got to reiterate this, it starts here first of all, and then it radiates.
Yeah.
And this is what V's all about. Yeah. So I get it. I want to thank you again for being part of my story, as these other people will do as well. But, you know, when we set this up back in September, Infinite You was, I don't know where it just happened. It just, the definition just happened. And we were assuming that everyone understood what it meant. It means different things to different people.
Yeah.
What does Infinite You mean to you? I said you twice. You.
You. What does infinite feel like to you? For me, is kind of really one word, and that's bliss. But I think it's, for me, it's, before it can look like anything, it has to feel like something. So Infinite You, whenever I think of infinite, and I've been excited by the number 8 for a very long time, but flipped on its side gives us that infinite you sign, or goggles, whichever way you want to look at it. But I think it's more about feeling first, and then you vibrate at a level which is obvious, because you then illuminate yourself. So then you look like something, if that makes sense. So for me, Infinite You is bliss. It's feeling the bliss. It's being and resting in that bliss place, because that's who I am. That's the power of love. That's how I'm connected to it. I'm connected to you. We're all connected. It's that one power of love that is connecting all of us.
I'm going to sum it up with one word. Because I'm dyslexic, I'm going to make it really easy. Being.
Being. Yeah. Bliss
Being.
being.
It's a real simple word, but let's just be. And that was my philosophy for the evening.
Being in the being.
I just want to stop there again, yet another stopping point. Al, you have the next question, but before that, can I read some comments that we've been getting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do.
We don't have a question. Oh, we do have a question. So Jackie Forster said, Al, exactly the same here. Writing isn't for me, but journaling I think is powerful. Do you have a digital journal recommendation? And for Vanessa, she said, I resonate with so much you say, but that keep going sometimes. The gut up just left the building. I don't know if it's my English, the way that I pronounce it.
Yeah, I understand what she's saying. I do. Okay, so we all have what I call a naked flame within us, right? It's called desire. It's a burning desire. And that flame, for as long as you are breathing and your heart is beating, that flame will be a light. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it. And I know we've all here experienced times where we go, I'm completely snuffed out, right? But as long as you have air in your lungs and your heart is beating, that is still there. And there was one phrase from, and I'm not Christian, but it was from the Bible years ago. I heard it. You know, all it takes is the size of grain of mustard seed. That's all you have. That's all you need. That's all you need. And I just kept reminding myself that as long as I still had air in my lungs and my heart was beating, there was still hope. And I just held on to that. And if you feel that your whatever it is has got up and left, have a different conversation with someone. Have a different conversation with yourself. There's someone out there that can just hold the space for you and just reflect. That's all I do, is just reflect back how beautiful, how magnificent, how powerful, and how lovely. So I call everyone lovely. It's how lovely you are. I think Jackie and I are due to have a conversation actually as well. So
let's connect that. Al, back to you with the next question then. Thank you, Vanessa.
This is my last question. I feel sad by that, but I'm also looking forward to a very, very important question. But before then, if you could do anything or be anything, what would you do or what would you be?
If I could do anything, the magic powers, if I had like invisible powers, I would want to just hold the whole world in a space that they felt that vibration emerge from within them, that it was so flipping friggin' powerful that they couldn't deny it. So that's what I would do, all in one go, for the great bit, for the whole world, right? And that's what I visualize in my meditation. I do a Merkaba meditation where I start here and I go out and I end up my room and then the house and the road and then the country and then the whole world. And I just hold the whole world, and all sorts of people pop up into my head. But I'm doing the best I can here as one human being. So in actual fact, if I could do anything, I'd keep doing what I'm doing.
Wow. So if you could do anything or be anything, you'd do exactly what you're doing and you'd be exactly who you are.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love that.
Seriously.
Wow. Blimey.
I just work. That's why I'm here, and it's what I want to do. It's what drives me. It's what brings me joy. It's what I go to bed thinking about. It's what I wake up thinking about, which is why I'm so grateful to all you guys for just proving to me I'm just not deluded. You've been a massive part of my journey. So thank you.
You're not. You're here for a purpose. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is it now?
No, we go all the way the other direction before that other question comes. So
calm down.
I'm having a very light and a very heavy heart at the same time right now. And this question and the next one will just push those to the limits, in my opinion. So for me, and I don't like asking this question, but I think it is helping so many people, the answers to that. And that is, what is your biggest failure in life, and how exactly did you bounce back from it?
My biggest failure in life, oh, I could say I think I failed as a parent. I could fail 2 marriages. You know, that one hurts. That really hurts. But my biggest failure in life, I think, was where I nearly checked out. And actually, I nearly checked someone else out. And I got to the point where I just stopped believing. I stopped believing in myself. I stopped believing in life. I stopped believing in everything. And I think the greatest failure was staying for me in that numb place for just far too long. However, I recognize now that I was meant to be there for obvious reasons. But yeah, I'd see that as a failure on my part that I just didn't recognize. Just didn't, yeah, I just had blocked everything out.
Wow. I love that. You know, like just the fact that it is about, it was what it was supposed to happen then to make the person that I am today. Just even that mentality when you're having a rough patch or whatever is going wrong, it could be a little mustard seed of hope.
Well, absolutely. And as Al says, you've survived 100% of your bad days. You know, now when I am feeling the contrast like I am now, a lot of that would floor quite a few people. And don't get me wrong, I'm not, you know, but what I am saying is that when you have been in that deep, dark place and you've come out the other side, you have to remind yourself that you've been there and that you've done it. And I know people that are really struggling right now, where I wished I could just get my little angel wings on and scoop them up and take them to a better place. It's not my responsibility, it's not my job, but I can be there to remind them that they've done it before, they can do it again. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Neil.
Yeah, one sec.
Is this it?
It's still snowing on him.
One sec.
I love you, Neil.
Do you know what? I love you too. And do you know what? I want to share a little something with everyone. Yeah, if you get a voice message from our Vanessa, there'll always be something that makes you laugh. And she gave me a little squeeze the last time, right at the end of the conversation. Vanessa, you have been and you are a beautiful pleasure to have around. You really are. You've been a fantastic guest. You are a beautiful mentor and you mean a lot to many people. But there's one question that, no. There's one question.
No, this is serious. This is serious stuff.
One sec, seriously. Stop making me laughter now. All right. Vanessa, Louise.
Yes, Neil. Get up.
What's your favourite cake?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
Are you all going to have a guess?
I've guessed. I've had like 5 guesses today.
Okay, would you like to know?
Yes.
Who remembers when they were a kid, ginger cake?
Ooh, really?
When I do cake, I would choose it every single time.
Ooh.
It's spicy, it's hot, it's good for you, and it's cake.
Sorry, wait, it's cake that's good for you?
Yeah.
The ginger bit is.
Gotta go. See you later. I'm out.
Yeah.
Cake
Ginger
that's good
cake.
for you.
Yeah, ginger cake.
Now, if Vanessa says it's good for you, it's good for you. We're allowing it, right? Sod what Rishi's got to say. It's what Vanessa's got to say, yeah? Vanessa, you've been an absolute pleasure. I'm going to hand you back to Gamzee. Thank you for being you, my lovely.
Thank you for having me.
And before I say one final thank you from all 3 of us for all the community that we have in Infinite You as well, I just want to say and request a small send us the recipe of the ginger cake if it's so good for you, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Even better. Even better. Even better. I think what you should do is send us the recipe and the cake.
Or
that
just
way,
invite you all round.
Or
right, literally getting in the car. Getting in the car now.
Listen. Let's stop all this buffoonery, ladies and gentlemen. I think obviously we thank Vanessa. Al, give us a rundown of what's going on at the moment, please. What's going on with the next of Gamzee? Come on, give us a
we've got 4 great speakers already lined up for April the 9th. Is that no, April the 8th? What am I talking about? April the 9th.
Have a word. It's 8.
April the 8th. Is it actually April the 8th? It's actually April the 8th. April the 8th. We've got 4 amazing speakers, one on resilience, one on introversion, one on rejection, one on
Yes.
can't remember. Oh my God. And we think we might have just got an amazing speaker who might be joining us to speak about the word beauty. Ooh, which is going to be very interesting. And we're recruiting the other 4 speakers from our audience. So those of you that are watching, if you have an idea for a speaker, post them below, because we're looking for good ideas, and put April the 8th, not the 9th. April the 8th and the 9th. We'd probably get a wiggle on, because today is March the 8th, guys.
Correct.
Yeah.
Don't worry now, it's all covered. Chill your boots. Go and eat cake, brother.
Trust in the infinite universe.
Exactly.
Deliver.
I trust in the infinite you.
You. That's better than do-do, isn't it?
It's better than do-do. You is always preferable to do-do, definitely.
Listen, this is going downhill. Gamzee,
Exactly. I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm just going to say we should rebrand to Infinite You. We love you, Vanessa. I think this is the summary. We love you. And
thank you.
guys, thank you so much for joining this wonderful chat. Al, Neil, and me, we'll see you next week or on Thursday on Clubhouse. I don't know why I turned into a TV reporter right now. God bless. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Vanessa.